hear me?
Yep.
You guys hear me? Interesting.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Good.
Right.
Good morning.
Good morning. This nice cold morning. Drive was 41 degrees on my commute this morning.
Oh my God.
What happened to our long, hot summer? Wait till next year. Right. Okay, welcome. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate. It's October 25th. And let's have a look at what we have for today. Quite a bit today about the market. Look, what do we have though? Halloween. All right. Halloween is next week. And so another holiday. Holidays are opportunities to put out some social media and put out some pictures. There are a couple of social media posts. This is one of them, the candied wax, as Steve Burritt calls it, and some others on the platform. So look at that, or just cut and paste this one and get it out there on Facebook and Instagram. What's happening now shouldn't be big news to anybody, is that we are experiencing a slowdown of the market nationwide and certainly here. So part of this is caused by the sudden change in interest rates and the overall housing affordability. So part of it's the market conditions. The other part, let me let some people in. They can get caught up on the candy corn picture.
Yes.
Yeah, part of it is, so it's two parts of it. It's the current market conditions that are happening right now. And the other part is there's always a natural slowdown in the winter. There's a slowdown in the fourth quarter. So we're experiencing both of those right now. The only way to counter a slowdown is to increase your own personal share of the market. You cannot change any of those things. You can't change the market conditions. You can't change the time of year. The only thing you can do is increase your share of the market. Okay, but nobody's buying houses. Nobody's selling right now. Nobody's doing anything. You have to remember that the market is huge. The year to date, and I just looked this up this morning, the year to date in the Portland Metro for today shows year to date 115,140 units have closed. And the volume on that is 67 billion, 166,255,061 dollars. Or $67 billion. So you're telling me nobody's buying houses? Nobody is selling?
Somebody has.
Uh-huh. So what's the real estate commission year to date on that? It's about $170 million at least. And so you need your share of that. So here at North Star, we earn about 1.2% of that market. So the question is, can we do better? And I think we can. I think we can get a larger share of that market, particularly now that other realtors are checking out just for these reasons. They're seeing the chart where the interest rates are going up and they're getting depressed about that. They're looking at the level of sales. They're looking at, it's the fourth quarter. Nobody wants to do anything over Christmas. And we know that's not true. So they're checking out. So there are less realtors doing anything. And there are certainly less realtors doing this next one here. We have to remember it comes down to three things. It comes down to your mindset, your skills, and your activities. Your mindset is just your approach and your attitude to your business. The skills are what we're developing right now, what to say to people, remembering that it's all about talking to people. And the activities is just simply doing it. Are you doing prospecting on a daily basis, and are you following a plan for these things? So follow on these, focus on these, and it doesn't matter what happens with the economy or the normal fourth quarter slowdown, because you're going to win. And you'll win by treating your business like a business. So look that over, think about that. Like I say, people say, well, nobody's buying right now. Well, okay, nobody's buying right now. Where'd the $67 billion come from? That's the Portland Metro. I haven't done our entire region.
Mhm.
You know, be hundreds of billions.
All right.
All right. Let's have a look at what we have. Okay, managers. Okay, Cheryl is not with us today because she is in a 2-day seminar so that she can teach continuing education
Oh,
in
nice.
Washington. So we're excited about that.
Who's putting that on?
The state, I
Washington
think.
Association of Realtors, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
done through the state.
Yeah. And we'll see how that goes if she has positive feedback on that. Shauna, you were thinking of going as well.
Mhm.
Great. All right, let's see what we have in our region. Let's pull up the regional map. Our little war map here. And Kuhn, what's happening in Portland? Anything new?
Yeah, we have some activity going on. Grant Baker's listing went live late last week. He held some open houses, did a broker tour yesterday, and hopefully he got a lot of activity. Beautiful property in Sandy, big house, good lot. So definitely check it out if you have buyers who are looking to purchase a nice big chunk of property in the Sandy area. And all of our agents are busy. You know, I've been talking to agents still who are working with buyers, writing up offers, getting listing contracts signed. So congrats to Portland agents staying busy during the slow time.
Yes. Yeah, congratulations. We're definitely got some activity. So what are these? I'm just looking at these millions. These are probably, Shauna, yours.
Mhm.
It's we got
There's one
1.9.
that one, that's Stephen Burrites, that one.
Ah,
Yeah,
Stephen.
Stephen. Yeah.
Right.
Stephen's got two that are over $1 million. They're in Washougal, and that one that's out there. Those are Stephen Burrites.
I should have known.
He's here with us today. Do you want to tell us a bit about those, Stephen? I don't know if you're connected.
If you have a mic, yeah. 1.9 in Washougal. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, Shauna, what's happening in Vancouver?
Well, last Friday, Taj closed a really nice one. So that's encouraging. He has another that's going to be closing within a couple of weeks here. Same as me, I have a couple closing very beginning of November. So the end of next week. I think I'll be getting a contract on my Woodland house. So I'm super excited about that. That's the 1.3 million. And the people there's been a few people that have been interested the last few weeks, but I think it's going to actually come through today. Hopefully they're just checking out the 5G in the area. so I'll have to pass that test. So hopefully that works out.
Yeah.
And I think that is all. It is definitely slowing down a bit, but compared to the week before, but the level of, I would say they're better. The things that are happening are more, possibly turn into paychecks. So that's good. So not just busy running around, but actually busy getting some things accomplished. So we're feeling positive, and next week we will have a lunch and learn in Vancouver. And I'm
Nice.
expecting a pretty good turnout for that. It'll be hosted by Chicago Title.
Nice.
And what
good.
else? I think that's all. Oh, and then there's the art show that Friday night. So, and things are looking up for that, as I think we're gonna hit over 50 mark for people at that venue. So that's
Great.
good stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. And let's fly over to Caldwell.
Oh, and also I have COVID. I'm stuck in my
Oh,
bed.
no. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling better, and I thought I had tested negative, but that little line snuck in there right at the end.
Oh, no.
So I was like, darn, I'm getting closer though. I feel like by tomorrow I should show up negative.
Good. Okay, well, we're all rooting for you. Get over that.
Thank you.
Get over that.
Yes.
Mario, how are things in Idaho? I
Yeah.
heard Mario.
Yes, he tested his mic.
Oh, sorry about that. You couldn't hear me. I'm talking. You can't even hear me.
It's okay.
In Idaho, Augie has a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home in Nampa, which is going live on Thursday. And then Jana is closing her land deal in McCall yesterday. She's closing her deal. I'm actually working on a couple deals. I'm meeting with a client of mine who wants to purchase some property, a land deal, 1.23 acres of land. She wants to buy the land and build a hall, banquet hall for entertainment, which is about somewhere between 350 and 400. And I'm also showing some property today to another client who's ready to buy something, and I found like 5 homes in the 400 range. So we're gonna go look around at some homes, and if he likes it, perhaps he'll make an offer. I have a listing possibility in about a couple of weeks. I met with the person who's in the process of doing some painting and fixing. So there's a townhome, 2.5 bath for about maybe 240 coming up in about a week or two. And then I met somebody who was driving. She couldn't give me an address, but she saw a house that she liked and wants me to meet with her to see if I can find something for her.
Nice.
So there's some activity going on in Caldwell.
Nice.
Excellent. Excellent. Good to hear. Good to
Oh,
hear.
and Lee's listing in Plymouth is closing today. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Okay, does anybody have any haves or wants? Is anybody have a pocket listing, or anybody looking to see if anyone else has a pocket listing or anything else is coming up on the market?
Yeah,
Yes.
I actually have a fixer-upper that might be coming up on the market in Milwaukee. The seller's deciding if they're gonna put some money into it to fix it up or sell it, and I'm hoping they just sell it. There are buyers out there and investors out there looking to pick up properties like this. So if you have an investor or somebody looking to purchase a fixer-upper, get a hold of me. I can get you some information. Good property if some people put some money into it. So.
I have a client who he builds manufactured homes, but he's looking for a property so that he can do a mobile home park.
Oh,
So he's looking for some land, and he's got about 500,000 to spend.
Okay.
And he looked at the property I have listed for 1.29 acres, but it won't allow him. He can build manufactured homes, but it won't allow him to have a park on the land.
Will
So
he go down into Oregon?
what's that?
Will he go down into southern Oregon?
I don't know. He currently is here in Nampa and he's looking at Caldwell. But that may be an option. We're in Oregon. Is Southern Oregon? Do you have something
Yeah,
there?
it's like, I think it's Burns. I had it listed a long time ago and I know it's still there. So I could get you in contact with the person if you want it. Check it out.
Yeah, sure. How big, how much, how many acres are?
It was, I can't remember the details, so I'll talk to you later, but it was already approved at one time for a mobile home park.
Really? Oh, yeah, if you could share that with me, the amount of acres and maybe the land itself, how
I'll look it
much,
up and send it to you. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Good work, everybody. A lot of listings and get them sold. They're overpriced. Get them, get your
That's
price
right.
reduction and get them sold. They are overpriced because they're
You know-
there, they're available. You can walk into them and no one's bought them yet.
You know, Kung and I were talking just briefly on that subject, about making adjustments like every Friday, which is kind of unusual for real estate over property management, but like making some reasonable adjustment, every Friday to find where the home is going to land, which, you know, normally you wouldn't do it that quickly, but it might kind of help find the price point even after a CMA.
Yep. Yep. They're losing money. They're losing time. They invariably come down anyway. Come down now. So,
Right. Coon, I had a
you've all heard me
question.
lecture on that. So
I had a question.
yeah.
Yeah, Coon, is your property in Milwaukee on the market yet?
Sorry, no, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, just get a hold of me if you have any questions on that one.
Thanks, Coon.
Hey, Shauna, just a quick question on that property you were referring to. Is that toward the border of,
Yeah, it's way down there in the middle of nowhere.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's got it on the map. Here it is.
I mean, do people live there? Would that be a good place to put a mobile park?
It's, I just don't remember a lot. It's been a couple years since it's been on there, so I have to go
Right.
back and look.
Yeah, because the Fruitland area, the Plymouth, the Parma, that's a
It's
growing
down
area.
further than that. It's down further.
Yeah,
than that.
it's up on the high desert.
It's
Nyath,
way down there.
right, Nyath, I thought had some land closer to Bend, which might be some worth chatting with her about, I thought.
She does.
And
Yeah.
was it already designated for a mobile home park?
No, it's no. Actually, they are building a mobile park next to those lots that I'm selling.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, because if it's not designated for a mobile home park, then you have to have a special meeting,
Yeah.
you gotta, and that could be thousands of dollars. It's, if it's not already designated for that, of course.
Right.
Yes.
Burns and Bly.
Sometimes people get Burns and Bend confused and they're very different. Not the same town.
We have the 121 conference has been announced at the Fontainebleau in Las
Ooh.
Vegas. And there's a picture of it.
Oh my goodness.
Brand new construction. And the tickets are on sale until the end of the year. So consider your availability for that March 4th through March 7th in Las Vegas. And like I say, everybody deserves a vacation, and especially a tax deductible vacation. And this might be the way to do it and meet people within the Century 21 system. We always have a good time with those. Meeting a lot of people.
Join us.
So think about that. What do we have coming up for office events? I know we already heard from Shauna. And what was the date again, Shauna, of your lunch and learn?
My lunch and learn will be November 2nd at 11:30.
Do it, everyone.
Okay. And Kuhn, do you have something scheduled yet?
Yeah, tomorrow. It's gonna
Tomorrow,
be a
there you
great
go.
class. It's called Get Known and Get Listings. It's going to be a good presentation by Dennis Catone from Tycor Title. He's going to teach you guys how to utilize, all the technology available to get listings. Utilize the new systems, social media, AI, all of it. It's a pretty intensive course, according to Dennis, and you're going to learn a lot. So, please stop by, grab some lunch, and have Dennis help you get some listings, get some money, get a paycheck. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
What time is that, Kuhn?
That's at noon in the
Thank you.
Portland office. Yeah. Hope to see everyone here. And it's open to all agents, not just Portland ones. So hopefully we see some of you Vancouver and
I
Longview.
forwarded it to everybody yesterday
Wonderful.
again.
Thank you. Oh, and Shauna, is your class open to all agents or is it just Washington?
It's Washington based.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. How's the market? We talked a little bit about the market. The market is slowing nationwide, and we're in our fourth quarter. Decline? Slowdown? Anyway, fourth quarters tend to be slower. Sometimes they're not. Kind of strange. Sometimes they don't slow down. So the news of the day, interest rates still creeping up slightly, very slightly. So yeah, they're very slight, but they're happening every week. That's the problem. It'd be okay if it went up slightly every month, but this is every week. So that's what we're dealing with right now. It's 7.63 today on a 30-year fixed. And there is the chart, and it is going up. It is going up every week. And what's it going to do? Well, like I said, the leading economists had predicted that it would come down nicely before the end of the year. They've extended that out. So that's all I know about predictions right now. They've extended that out further than the end of the year. And consumer price index, of course, that was a disappointing number because I know they're after the magic 2.0 and it went up to 3.67, and that comes out once a month. And everybody looks for that when it comes out. The multiple listings this is the most current summary reports for September. So hopefully by next week, we can update that and base these on the latest figures. It's a seller's market by most criteria right now. It's a seller's market in all four of our branches. And Kuhn, what's the report from the NAR economist today about I think 5 years of mortgage approval rates?
Yeah, a lot of numbers. So I'm just gonna summarize a lot of what it says.
Yeah.
You can look at the chart to get more details, but the NAR is just showing that approval rates and mortgage rates are shifting higher. As you can see, if you look at the chart below, from 2018 to 2022, most of the mortgage rates that are mortgages that were approved were between 3 and 4%. But if you look at the next chart down, it shifted to the right. In 2022, most of them were 5.5 to 6%. So, and I'm sure once they release 2023, it's going to be shifted more to the right. But that's the general trend of the mortgage rates. Approval rates, though, have dropped as well. If we go down to the next section, some states are ranging and averaging between 60 to 50%. But the good news is that at least all 50 states mortgage rate approvals are at 50% or above. So people are still getting approved for mortgages.
They have good credit in Wisconsin. Is that the idea?
Right, that is the highest one.
Who did-
Wisconsin had an approval rate of 69.38%.
Okay.
Oh,
But I think there are a couple factors, the cost of living as well as the cost of the house. So, affordability plays a part in getting approved for that mortgage.
Right. Right. So Oregon's at 63.
Yeah,
Right.
Oregon is at 60. Sorry, there's an error message on my things. Yes, 63.39%.
it looks like we're on the top 10.
Yeah,
Out there, with the average at 4.
Where's
Uh,
Washington?
Between 18,
and
yeah,
Idaho?
5 years. Yeah.
Idaho's up there.
We're looking for Washington and Idaho. Idaho's way up
Idaho's
there,
at the top.
Oh, yeah,
5.
Idaho's way up there.
And then Oregon's top 10. Where's Washington in there?
Too expensive.
Right here.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there
Not
it
too
is.
far.
Oh,
Not
good.
too far. Yeah.
63.34. Nice.
All right. So right below, just a few below.
And the next chart, if you guys want to spend some time, we'll show you what the average interest rate as well. And that's 2022. So more up-to-date information. But let's see what the summary or the insight from the historical data shows. The number of approved mortgage applications has been declining in the last decade. With events like the Great Recession and the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. total approval rate has declined from 73.73% in 2004 to 53.02% in 2022, almost as low as in 2011, which was 48.44%. So, take some time, look at the numbers, choose a state from the drop-down menu to see below to see how the rates have changed over the years. It's always good to know, the general trends of, mortgage rate approvals and as well as the mortgage rates. So
It'd be interesting to know why they why they were denied or why they didn't work. All right, thank you. Interesting stuff. So this is up on the blog for today. Go ahead and look at that any further if that interests you. Again, I try to summarize things. There's all kinds of details. We could talk about this all day. Why things do this and why things do that. But as a real estate professional, you need to be able to quickly and clearly explain this to your clients as if you're sitting in an elevator taking a short ride. You've only got a few minutes. So hey, Koen, you're in real estate.
yeah,
How's the market?
Let's see. Well, we're seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue a slow trend upwards. However, this continues to be a seller's market due to a shortage of available housing. Average days on the market is up to 47 days from 37 days, with 2.9 months of inventory. Median home prices have decreased 2.7% over the last year from $550,000 to $535,000. Interest rates are currently at 7.63% are expected to fluctuate slightly over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers, and buyers also benefit from these dropping prices.
All right, thank you. I learned a lot in that short elevator ride.
Yes.
If I need to buy a house, I might give you a call. Do you have a business card?
That is real data.
I do. Let me get your information as well.
Okay. Okay. Oh, here's my floor. Thanks. Let's see. Kat, do you have a microphone?
Yes, I do.
Well, what do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm in real estate.
Oh, really? How's
Mhm.
the market?
Well, let me tell you, we are seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue a slow trend upwards. However, this continues to be a seller's market due to a shortage of available housing. Average days on the market is up to 38 days from 35, with 2.5 months of inventory. Median home prices have decreased 0% over last year, at 525,000. 525,000. Interest rates are currently at 7.63% and are expected to fluctuate slightly over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers, and buyers also benefit from dropping prices.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Yes.
Do you have a business card?
I do. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. All right. All right. That's good news for Clark County. Nick. Do we still have Nick?
I think he stepped away.
Then, Shauna. How are things in Cowlitz County? I understand
We
you're a
are-
realtor too.
I am. I love my job. We are seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue to slow trend upwards. However, this continues to be a seller's market due to a shortage of available housing. Average days on market is down to 29 days from 31, and median home prices have decreased 6.5% over last year. The median home sold in the area is $390,000. What a great price. Interest rates are currently 7.63% and are expected to fluctuate over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers, and buyers also benefit from dropping prices.
Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, that is affordable up in Longview, Kelso in Cowlitz County. Much more affordable. Okay. And Mario, how are things in Canyon County?
Well, in Canyon County and Ada County in Caldwell, we're seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue a slow trend upwards. However, this continues to be a seller's market due to the shortage of available housing. The average days on the market is up to 36 days from 29 days, and the median home price have increased 4.6% over last year. The median homes sold price in the metro area is $475,000, and the interest rate is currently 7.63% and are expected to fluctuate over time. This is a great time to list while it is still favorable to sellers, and buyers also benefit from dropping prices too.
Hey. Okay, thanks everybody. That's the Northwest region. All very promising, all encouraging to clients that it is a time to sell. Don't sit around and wait for some magic thing to happen that is not likely to happen. Get on with your lives, I think is the message. If you have a reason to buy or sell. Nick, you got some comment. You had Nick has this saying. He says, marry the house, but date the interest rate. And did somebody comment on that?
No, well, not directly to me. It is something I've said before, and it was an interesting debate. It was actually a real estate agent being interviewed, I think in our Boise market, and they had said that that using that phrase is irresponsible.
Ooh.
And it was this kind of an interesting debate as to how you say that to people, because first of all, they're not going to qualify for a mortgage they can't afford, but you do need to advise them to take into account their personal finances beyond even what they mortgage. So even if they get approved for the mortgage, do they still feel comfortable with maybe additional things that maybe the lender didn't know? So it's kind of an interesting debate, but that agent said it was incredibly irresponsible to use such a phrase. I'm on the fence.
I'm not.
Maybe clarify it a little more and just say,
I'll clarify it for you.
It's not us to put the lender out, but yes, clarify.
I'll clarify it. 7.63 is not a bad rate. It is the rate. So if you have a need or a desire to purchase a home, purchase it. And perhaps interest rates will go down and you can refinance.
Right. It is true. And so if you can afford it, owning home and land and that equity is important if you can afford that rate and you qualify for that rate. So I guess you're right, it's true. And sometimes these interviews can be a little fantastical because everyone kind of wants to have a very bold opinion, but the opinion can be, what are you comfortable with? You know.
Anyone
And
else have an idea on that? Maybe I should have saved my opinion for last. Okay.
Oh,
I agree
Shauna-
with you. I agree with you.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. She took the safe road.
I mean, I'm always saying, you just, if you have to buy, you have to buy. There's still people out there that have to buy and sell right now.
Right, right. And it's still it's still one of the best investments that you can make if you're gonna make it. And so, yeah, I thought it was an interesting statement that it was so bold, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's irresponsible to say, hey, if you qualify and you can afford that mortgage, owning property is still a good idea.
No, that's a terrible concept that it's irresponsible to buy a house now because of this interest rate, when the interest rates may never go below that. We
How
got
how much is it gonna cost for renting though?
Yeah, exactly.
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 Is that
It is what it is.
responsible?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So she whoever that, she doesn't come to these meetings. I wish she was here now to
To debate, maybe she'd have an interesting thing to add. It's true.
yeah. All right. So training, there's a lot of training on the Century 21 system. In addition to what we do here, including what we do today to review the market and some pointers on how to run your business, Century 21, they have the Social 121, where they give out pointers on establishing your social media out there and following up on what to do and keep that going so that you have some level of social media presence. We also have Century 21 University MoxieWorks and Moxie Support. And these are shortcuts right here on this blog to get up to speed on MoxieWorks. Everything to do with MoxieWorks. And we have the Accelerate class coming up November 27th to 12/22. We have Virtual Go List coming up on 10/31. And there's a one-time session of owning objections. I think it's a presentation, November 10th, 8 to 9:30 Eastern time. And also Century 21 Learning Library. Here's another shortcut to that. Sometimes it's nice to have shortcuts. Our blog, C21 Brokers, can be a shortcut to a lot of things. Let's look at a quick video from Keeping Current Matters. And this guy is going to just give us a very quick take on market conditions from his perspective, which I thought was interesting.
First, it is a volatile market right now, and we're at an inflection point in our business. But that's why staying connected and up to date on what is happening is so critical. Second, we shouldn't fear a recession in housing because we know what happened in the past. We can be the experts. You need to just deliver the facts and support those with visuals. Come with the truth. Third, this market isn't crashing. It is slowing down from the frenzy over the last 2 years. But the story to tell here is that's a good thing. Dave, I've heard you say this before, where everyone over a couple of years ago was saying, wow, we want two things. We want more inventory, and we really wish that prices wouldn't appreciate so fast.
Right.
We got our wish. We got our wish. How do you tell that story right now? And lastly, as Dave mentioned, the average of the top experts are calling for home price appreciation this year and next year. So once again, being the expert here is critical. You got to bring the truth, you got to back it up with the facts, and you have to educate your market. First, it is a...
Yeah, I like that. He's responding to people who say that the market is crashing. Well, that's certainly not the case. And the complaints we had about the wild days, you know, there was no inventory and we got our wish.
Right. It just switched a little bit the other way.
Now we have different wishes for today. So I thought that was a very interesting video. Well, Shauna, we were talking about an issue that's happening right now, which is cancellations.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, this sounds negative, but it's not. It's just keeping informed. Right now, there is a huge increase in sale fails. 60,000 contracts were canceled in August. That is a big percentage. 50% of the time, a buyer that cancels will not use the same agent to purchase. Finding clients that are willing to go into contract is hard enough right now in this market. So we really need to talk about the things that we can do to decrease the chances of cancellation and keep that buyer. So a lot of this is kind of review, but I think all in all, there's some new tidbits in it. Buyer consultation. We all know that this is critical. This is where we find out their motivation. We find out what they are running from or running to. And it's always something, right? Maybe they are losing their rental because the landlord is taking the house back or selling it. Maybe they have a growing family and they need more space. So there's always a reason. And it's important because most buyers out there have a reason to want to buy, and it usually is not the interest rate. See, this is what we were just talking about. It's not the interest rate. The interest rate is not the motivator for people to buy and sell houses. It's life, things that happen in their life and what they need to do, choices they made or decisions they're making. Sure, we can meet someone at a house for the first time. So having a buyer consultation is really, really important. But if you get a call and somebody wants to see a house, it's okay to go meet that buyer at that house for the first time and then get to know their motivation. So they wanted to make that clear that, you know, it is essential. And I highly recommend you do it in your office or on a Zoom. Zoom can work as well. Buyer consultations work really good on Zoom. They see your face, they can hear your tone, all those things. So in face-to-face is always the best. And if that can't happen, then you do Zoom next.
So how does that, Shauna, how does that compare with our other training talks about pre-qualifying buyers? And we have a checklist and a kind of a script of questions to ask.
It's
But
the
is
same.
the consultation more than that?
No, I think it's the same thing. It's just the idea, right? Isn't it? I mean,
Well, I would say there's a lot to tell that buyer about the current market conditions.
right.
So that they
And
know what they're up against.
yes, absolutely. There's so much that could be done in a buyer consultation, what to expect. So if it depending on the price ranges they're in. So if you have a buyer in a 400,000 price range, you got to tell them you're going to be competing against investors with cash. I mean, those things are still happening. If you have a buyer that's over, you know, around $1 million, you can say, you know, you might be able to whittle that price down a little bit because it's taking longer and people are kind of confused about that. And with that point, I want to say that listing that I have in Woodland hasn't even been 90 days. And in the past, I've always said that houses in that range take 90 to 120 days. So it's knowledge like that that's really going to put your buyer's mind at ease. And those things are important. But that is how you get them to decrease on the cancellation too, because you're also going to make sure, number two, that they understand the process. Have they bought a home before? Maybe it's a review for them. If so, how much do they remember? Don't assume they know everything. Things are different. Like John just said, the market is different all the time. It's changing. Probably the number one thing to make sure they understand is that the sellers, this is the biggest point I watched this in a video, that sellers are not required to do repairs and give concessions. even as the market changes. It is not written in the contract to force them to do anything in response to inspections. They need to
Oh,
know that
you know what is written in the contract?
that you can do one.
As is.
Yeah,
As
That's-
is written in the contract.
it is written in the contract. That is correct. And you need to explain that to your buyers ahead of time. The contract does not force them, to do anything at the inspection. They need to know that the inspector's job is to find defects and potential defects. Buyers can ask for repairs or concessions, but in no way is the seller obligated to agree. Just that alone will give them the knowledge of how it can go and decrease cancellation later. A study has shown that the average, this is good statistic to know,
Yeah.
the average 3,000 to 5,000 worth of repairs are found on home inspections. That's an average of everything. I think that's pretty accurate. At least that much is going to be found, because there, this is something you should let both your seller and your buyer know. Inspectors will find defects and they will report them. It is part of what to expect, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's their job.
Yeah, it's not necessarily something to bite your nails over. Just review it as it comes in. Yeah.
And I guarantee they're gonna find that there's a GFCI that's not right. I guarantee
How is
it.
that?
And there's gonna be some other safety feature, like the pull down for the garage attic area is not gonna have a fire safety on the outside of it, and probably the garage door does not. There's just gonna be so many things. Oh, and there's no tipping devices on the stove, so there's gonna be a lot of things because those things are very common.
Yeah.
And anybody who has not been through a lot of inspections, please feel free to call any of the more experienced agents, because we can help you. It's just things are going to come up almost every time, and it's not anything to get excited about.
Right.
All right, and then number 3 is connect your buyer with your preferred lender. Don't steer them. Just give them the opportunity to check what information they have. And if they are already working with somebody, that's great. Just get them to check with your lender to confirm without being disrespectful. Because what if it's their brother-in-law or something like that? You just need to be respectful, and you don't want to try to push them into this. Just understand that they're loyal. They may have loyalty, and you do not want to sound like that person can't do a good job, because that's not the kind of agent you want to be. You just want to give them the information. It's always good to check, to say, hey, even though you have a really great lender, you might want to just check your rate and see if you're getting a good rate, because they are not all the same. Online lenders will spew out approvals, and I say that because we know it's true, based on statement buyers make. So they will just give those out, and many lenders who do not do their job, they don't ask all the questions. They don't run the credit. They might run the credit, but they might not look at documentation. So believe it or not, buyers have come to me and are ready to make an offer, and they have no idea what that payment is, believe it or not. So don't feel bad if you have to ask them ask them in a nice way. Don't say, are you pre-approved? Don't do that. Say, have you and your lender talked about a payment that you're comfortable with? Do you know what your ideal payment is? What fits your budget? Those are things that are not going to feel aggressive and judging on them, because some people might be approved for a lot more than what they want to pay. And that happens more often. And it's smart. I mean, why would you want to max out everything? So
Would you say, Shauna, that maybe these online lenders are contributing to this cancellation rate?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because they don't, even if the person is approved, and maybe it's just by barely, because they've given their information, but they didn't know what that, why? even when I was buying a house, I had to jump up and down and scream, saying, I want this payment. I want to know exactly how much money you want from me at closing, because they don't just give it to you. It just blows my mind. I didn't use a lender that I normally work with because I got huge incentives not to. Huge. So, but it was like, why is this so hard to get? You'll find it. You'll need to kind of help your buyers with that.
Right.
So
Right.
that will stop cancellations. Open communication, obviously, this is a huge one. Make sure you talk to your clients, the lenders, and other agents. Do not get emotional. We talked a lot about this, I think, in the last couple of weeks. Be the one that regulates the emotions. If it's your client's right to be emotional, they hire you to be logical. I love that because they gave a good example. If you went in to see your therapist and they started crying, you would be wondering if they're really qualified for that job. So you need to be the logical person. Remember this, a negative update is worse than no update. Get it out of the way. Just call and give the update. Even if it's nothing, you just got to keep that communication open. If you had a bad inspection, for example, don't just be quiet and crickets until you send a 35R or a buyer's inspection request or whatever you want, repair request, whatever it's called in your area. Don't wait. Don't keep that agent hanging and the sellers hanging. Give little updates. We just finished the inspection. There was huge cracks in the foundation that was concerning. So we're sending someone out to take a look at that. The only reason I'm bringing this up to you now is because I know in the past that has been a huge expense, so they know ahead of time. You don't want to just go, bam, here's a $50,000 repair. Thank you. It's going to be helpful and it's going to stop things because people will absorb. I don't know, has anybody else had experience where you have a client, you tell them something and they blow up, but within a couple hours or a day, they've come to grips with it. It's just common. It's the natural way people respond to things. So
It really is, and some things can sound so much worse. Do cracks in the foundation always have to be dealt with? No. There's sometimes, a 50-year-old house is going to have cracks in the foundation, and it's settled and it's done settling. Yeah,
if it's a brand new house, there might be a huge problem.
No, yeah, exactly. A brand new house shouldn't do it.
So go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I think there's a typo. I think the statement in caps, a negative update is better than no update at all.
I think so too. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I did do it on COVID brain.
There you go. Well, you did good.
So strike that. Okay. Negative.
It's so true. Get the bad news out as fast as you can.
Yeah.
When you hear bad news and it has to go to your client, don't have a drink first. Just pick up the phone. And the faster you do that, the better.
Yeah, let them absorb it.
Let them start to absorb it, and they can call the inspector and he'll say, oh no, vertical cracks are normal. It's horizontal cracks you worry about, things like that. And let them explain it to them.
Yeah, the number 5 is my favorite one because I don't think we've talked about this as much. If you get a request to cancel, get face-to-face. There needs to be a deep conversation at that point in time. It's been emotional for them. You don't want to just let it go and say, okay, and do it. You're going to say, hey, well, let's talk about this. If your buyer thinks they can get a better deal and a better home, then you can sit them down in front of you and pull up what's available. I think you need to do that. If your buyer says they don't want to buy this house based on the inspection, then you need to look at what else is out there. Sometimes it's warranted that they don't want it to move forward, and sometimes it might be that they just have decided they don't like the house. So maybe there are some for them to go look at. So guess what? Go show them those houses. And I don't think this is something that we talk about very often, but I think this is a great idea, because if you go out there and show them the houses and they're better, then let them cancel and go for the new house. You're representing that buyer, and that's what's best for them. Because they have the right to cancel on inspection. And if not, if they are looking for something that's special and you go out and take them and show them a bunch of stuff, then there's nothing like that, what they're getting for the price they're getting it for, then they need to know that too. So, because especially when they're special, when they need a special thing, like if they need a master on the main or 2 masters or an ADU unit, things like that. Those don't come up very often, and so they need to know and make a good decision. Another thing to do is the big number versus small number, which is, so say the difference is $10,000, you know, so even though this is $10,000, Mr. Seller, do you realize that's, you know, only $80 a month for the house of your dreams or whatever it is? So that is a good way to do things as well. And then I always ask for cost sheets and ahead of time. When I know that we're going to get down to some stuff, I will call the lender and say, will you do me a sheet? Because I think we're going to have to figure out what the appraisal came in low, whatever it is, get that cost sheet. And then you have information. They're like, oh, this is not so bad, because it's only, instead of having the initial reaction, like, oh my gosh, you know, they'll have the information there. And especially for the sellers too, when you know you're renegotiating what the price is, then get them a new net sheet. You've already got it, it's right there, and now we can talk about it. And that provides the logical information that can help them make good decisions.
Very good. Always talk about dollars. When you get a repair addendum that doesn't have any figures and you don't have any bids, you don't know what you're talking about, because we only talk about dollars. A busted foundation means nothing, but $5,000 means everything. So yeah, the net sheets, yeah, they'll give you a net sheet every day if you ask for one. They have no problem helping you out with that. Okay, anything else to say from anybody about this?
App time.
So good luck. Yes, this is an issue right now, is buyers canceling their deal for one reason or another. And it can be about education from their agent.
Or ask for help.
Yep. Ask for help. Everybody has an excellent manager, branch manager, and that should be definitely be a resource for you with these issues.
Yeah, and I think in final, I think a lot of these cancellations might be resolved with even deeper pre-qualifying conversations and preparations about, let's plan lowering the price on a routine and set basis, and, you know, whatever else you guys have to add. But I think even deeper conversations in the pre-qualifying.
Absolutely. And if you went to Rocket Mortgage or one of those, and that's the reason, then get with a local person that we've dealt with, that we have a long history with, and get a second opinion.
Yeah, nothing's scarier than not knowing if they're really approved.
Right. You know, my condo had been on the market for 60 days, which was very unheard of for a reasonably priced condo. And I, right before we got the final offer that we ended up accepting and closing on, I just finally called and said, you know, we had been kind of calm. They didn't need to sell the house. You know, there wasn't this strong urgency, but I said, you know, now we're heading into winter. So whether you absolutely must sell this condo or not, you know, it's been empty throughout the summer, and they were totally fine with it. And so we did come up with a strategic plan to lower it, and it sold within 2 weeks. You know, so just kind of get ready to, and it's always price. If it's in reasonable shape, it's always price. So just set a date to, you know, lower the price routinely.
Nice. Nice. Okay, lunch and learn here in Portland. What time?
Noon.
No.
12
Noon
p.m.
tomorrow. And
Okay,
that's open for all agents because that is marketing and
Absolutely.
for all agents. And I would tell everyone education is important. So whether you're in Washington or not, feel free to join Shauna. Education is important either way.
absolutely.
So feel free to join Shauna as well.
Okay, well, we hope to see everybody there.
Woot, woot.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, John.
Yep.
I'm gonna reload Zoom. So you're gonna get a verification code so that I can do the host on Wednesdays on the meetings. Because my camera doesn't seem to be